So this is the review for chapter 10 test. In the first question, what you're going to have to do is you are going to have to look at data and organize that data. Now, in the first part, you're going to have to use tallies to to set up your data table. In the second part, you have to add up your number of tallies and then find your totals as well. So the way that I would personally do this is please make sure that when you go to do your test, you double check the data. All right. Always double check it. So the first one is male and math. So when you go to make tallies, you're just going to put a tally mark in there. I would always cross them off as I go. So male science, male math, female math, male science, female science, and just go through and do it individually. Female English, male social studies, and this is favorite classes, by the way. Female and math, male and English, male and math, female social studies. There's 3 at the end. So that's what you're going to have to do with tallies. In Schoology tomorrow, what you're going to have to do is type in the number 1 each time that there's a tally. So there would be a tally. You're going to type in a 1, a 1, and a 1. Or here for female math, you're just going to type in a 1 and a 1. All right, but that's how it's set up in Schoology.
Are there spaces in between the ones?
No spaces. Use the tallies to construct your two-way table. So now all that you're going to do is write the actual numbers. So male math, there's 3. Female math, there's 2. Male science, there's 2. Female math, there's 1. English, there's 1 and 1. Social studies, there's 1 and 3. Then you're going to have to find your total. So you have to add the columns going down and add the rows going across. So 3 plus 2 is 5. 2 plus 1 is 3. 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 plus 3 is 4. Going across, 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 gives you 7. 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 3 gives you 7. Always double check to make sure that in your totals, when they come together in that bottom right-hand corner, they have to add up to be the same thing. If they don't add up to be the same thing, you know for sure that you did something wrong. 7 plus 7 going down is 14. When we go across, we'd have 5 plus 3 plus 2, which is 10, plus 4, which is 14. Remember that this number in the bottom corner, that is how many total people were surveyed. All right, that is the total survey. You can always double check that number by going up to your data. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 people in my survey as well. Always double check that data. It's very easy to accidentally skip over one or count one twice or something like that. So just be very, very careful there. It's an easy question, but it's easy to mess up as well. Now, using that table, you're going to have to answer some questions, but first you're going to have to find your percents. Go ahead and just find the percents for math. I'll give you the other ones. Just find the percents for math right now. Notice that the directions say round to the nearest tenth. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds. Just use your calculator and find the percents, please. Round to the nearest tenth. So when you go to do your percents, remember you do the part over the total. So male math was 3 out of the total of 14. So you do your part over your total. So you're going to do 3 divided by 14, top divided by bottom, 3 divided by 14. Then you have to either multiply by 100, or you can move the decimal point 2 places to the right. When you do that, for this one, you get 21.4%. 2 over 14, 2 divided by 14, move your decimal point over 2 places, you get 14.3%. And for your total, you would do 5 over 14. 5 over 14 is 35.7%. For these other ones, we get 14.3%. We get 7.1%. We get 21.4, 7.1, 7.1, 14.3. Now, notice that those don't add up. Sometimes when you round, they're not always going to add up perfectly. So that's why you really do need to find each one individually. Because obviously 7.1 plus 7.1 is not 14.3. So find each one individually. In your bottom right-hand corner, this one should always be 100% because you are doing 14 over 14. When you divide 14 divided by 14, you end up with 1, but then you have to move the decimal point over 2 places. So that becomes 100%. Take a look at the 3 questions at the bottom. Question number 1, what is the most popular subject? What is the most popular subject? Now, when you're answering these questions, sometimes you're looking at the whole picture. Sometimes you're just looking at a row. Sometimes you're just looking at a column. It all depends on how the question is worded. All right, think inside your head right now, what is the most popular subject according to our data? Most popular subject is right here. It would be math is the most popular subject according to this data. 35.7 is bigger than 21, 14, 28. What is the probability as a percent that the next student picked will like science? Well, we're looking at this square right here. It would be, of all the people who like science, it would be 21.4%. Be careful. If it said males who like science, we would have to look at this individual square. Females, this individual square. All right. We really need to be careful of what we're doing here. All right. Be very, very careful, because then we might have 2 out of 7, not 2 out of 14. We might have 1 out of 7. It all depends on how the problem is worded. How many more male students like math compared to English? How many more male students like math compared to English? We are not talking percents here. It says how many actual students. If it wanted percents, it'd say percents. And that's how it's worded on your test as well. So male who like math is 3. Male who like English is 1. So how many more like math compared to English? It would be 3 minus 1, which gives you 2. So just be careful whether you're looking at the whole table or one specific row or one specific column. Be very, very careful there. Moving on to the next one. You are going to have to draw a side-by-side bar graph or a double bar graph. The axes will already be set up all for you. It will be labeled already. All right. You need to fill out your key. All right. Pick out what colors you're going to use, or what designs you're going to use, things like that. So take a look at this one. This one says create the side-by-side bar graph with the class of students along the x-axis. Notice that we have A, B, and C. I'm going to tell you that every year when people take this test, the biggest mistake that they make, the next question says, create a stacked bar graph. If you do the wrong type of bar graph for the wrong question, you're going to lose points. All right. This one specifically, and that's how it is on the Regents exam too, by the way. This one says to do a side by side or a double bar graph. This one is actually a quadruple bar graph because we have 4 things going on. I'm going to use red for pizza. So for A pizza is 12. So I'm going to take and go up to 12. And I'm not going to color them in just to save a little time here and make it a little bit neater. A pizza, or sorry, B pizza is 9. Wrong color. B pizza is 9. C pizza is 7. Now moving on to salad. For salad, I'm going to use blue. So for salad, I have A salad is 3. B salad is 8. C salad is 9. Just make sure that you go up to the right numbers, please. For chicken, I'm going to use orange. All right, for chicken, for A, I have 10, B, I have 13, and C, I have 7. So 10, 13, and and 7. And again, just try and be as neat as possible. For the burger, I'm going to use purple. I have 8, 5, and 12. So 8 for A, 5 for B, and C is 12. And that would be my quadruple bar graph. All right, be very, very, very careful when you're drawing these. No spaces in between the bars. Based on the graph, which lunch item is Class B's favorite? Take a look at it. Which one is Class B's favorite? It would be this orange bar right there. That orange bar stands for chicken. So it would be chicken because it is the highest bar. Now we're going to do the stacked bar graph. Now you have to be very, very careful on the stacked bar graph. This one says the number of students, all right? We're not converting these to percents. Remember, sometimes you use actual numbers, sometimes you use percents. We're going to use actual numbers here. So for pizza, we need to do an A, a B, and a C. Now remember, when you go to do these, they're going to look like this. They're going to be one right on top of the next, which is right on top of the next. So you have to look at the numbers and add them together. So for pizza, we have 12, 9, and 7 for A, B, and C. So 12, and there's not going to be enough here, is there? Alrighty then. So 12, we're gonna erase this for a second. Sorry, I didn't put enough numbers here, which is not good. So let's count by fives instead. So this will be 5. This will be 10. This will be 15. That's probably not good either. Oh, what should I count by? Let's count by 2s instead. Sorry about this. This is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. That'll be enough. No, it won't be. 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, and 40. Let's see if that's going to be enough. So for pizza for Class A, it is 12. So I'm going to go up to 12 for pizza. And then for class B for pizza, it is 9. So 9 plus 12 is 21. So I got to go up to 21. And then 21 plus 7 is 28. So I need to go up to 28 here. There's my stacked bar graph. Remember, you have to add these numbers together as we go down. For salad, I have 3 for salad, and then I have 8 for salad. So 3 plus 8 is 11. And then 11 plus 9 is 20. For chicken, I have 10 for class A. I have 13. So 10 plus 13 is 26. I got to go up to for class B. And then 26 plus 7 is 33. I got to go up to. Oops, I went too far. For burgers, I have 8. And 8 plus 5 is 13. And then I have 13 plus 12 is 25. So there is my stacked bar graph. Again, be very, very careful. All right. You're stacking one on top of the next, on top of the next, on top of the next. So be very, very, very careful. All right. These are ones that you can try. All right. Take a look at this one. According to the data, is meatball on white or meatball on whole wheat more popular? Is meatball on white or meatball on whole wheat more popular? Meatball on white is right here. There are 12 of them. Meatball on whole wheat, there are 7 of them. So meatball on white is more popular. It's the bigger number. Take a look at number 5. According to the graph, what is the least popular dessert for 8th graders? What is the least popular dessert for 8th graders? Notice that 8th graders is the striped bars. So I'm not looking at the solid bars at all. I'm looking at the 4 striped bars. The least popular would be the lowest bar. So this would be candy, because that's the lowest. Take a look at number 6. According to the data, what type of pizza / crust combination is the most popular? Go ahead and try this one, please. Give you a little bit of hint in here. In this one, just because of how the question's worded, we're not looking at any of the totals at all. All we're looking at is the pizza / crust combinations. So we're looking for the biggest number. The biggest number would be this one right here. It would be cheese with thick crust. 38 out of the 152 is our biggest number there. According to the graph, are granola bars more popular at vending machine B or vending machine D? So we're looking for this solid gray at B or at D. Well, this gray area is bigger than this gray area, so it would have to be B, because that is bigger. Take a look at number 8. Now, these get tricky. All right. I'm going to warn you, if you're going to make a mistake on your test tomorrow, this is where you're going to make your mistake. I can guarantee you, because on a lot of these questions, we're only looking at columns or only looking at rows. So you need to be very, very careful. Number 8 says, what is the most popular sweetener? Notice that all three of these are sweeteners. It's labeled sweetener on the side. Which is the most popular sweetener for coffee with skim milk? Coffee with skim milk, we are only looking right here. That's all that we are looking at are those three boxes. What is the most popular sweetener for coffee with skim milk? These represent coffee with skim milk. The highest number is sugar, 26. What is the least favorite type of coffee ordered with no sweetener? What is the least favorite type of coffee ordered with no sweetener? No sweetener is this blue row. All right, that's all the no sweetener. So, which is the least favorite type of coffee? The least favorite coffee, the 6 is the lowest. So, it would be the coffee with creamer. Still using that same data. Number 10 says, what percent of people ordering coffee with skim milk added no sweetener? Round to the nearest 10th. These are the hard questions right here. Please try this question, number 10. If you're going to get a question wrong tomorrow, this is where it's going to happen. I can guarantee you. What percent of people ordering coffee with skim milk added no sweetener? So, what percentage of people ordering coffee with skim milk? That means we're looking at this blue column, coffee with skim milk, added no sweetener. No sweetener is right there. Now, be careful when you set up your proportion, or not proportion, but fraction. We're doing 15 out of how many? We're doing 15 out of 51. It's not 15 out of 167 because it says what percent of people ordering coffee with skim milk. So we're only looking at these 51 people. So it's out of 51. So 15 out of 51, top divided by bottom, move the decimal point over 2 places to the right. You should end up with 29.4% when you round to the nearest 10th. Take a look at number 11, similar type of question. What percent of people using no sweetener had black coffee or coffee with creamer? Round to the nearest 10th. Go ahead and try question number 11, please. So, what percent of people using no sweetener? We are only looking at this row of those who had no sweetener. What percent had black coffee or coffee with creamer? Black coffee, coffee with creamer. We need to add those two numbers together. 28 plus 6 is 34, and it's out of 58 who had no sweetener. All right, that's your total there. So top divided by bottom, move your decimal point over 2 places to the right, you get 58.6%. Question number 12 this is the last one. If there were 900 customers, about how many ordered coffee with sugar? Go ahead and set up your proportion and solve. again, be very, very careful. If there are 900 customers, now remember, we're going to set up a proportion. So you're going to have a number over a number equals X over 900. About how many ordered coffee with sugar. So coffee with sugar. It could be black, it could be with creamer, it could be with skim milk, it could be with soy milk. These are all with sugar. There are 59 total with sugar out of your total of 167. So 59 over 167 equals X over 100. Remember that you want to cross multiply. So 167 times X is 167X. Cross multiply 59 times 900. 59 times 900 gives you 53,100. And then divide. You want to cross multiply and divide to find X. So divided by 167, and you get 317.96. We're going to round to the nearest person. So we're going to say 318. All right. So when it has that question like that, because you will have one, cross multiply, then divide.